Yo, what's up, Scoop Nation? Welcome back to another video. Today we got for you OG Broly. Yes, sir. This is set one. If you see it at the bottom, BT1. So I wanted to get this deck profile up for you guys as quick as possible. It is so nasty, bringing back one of my favorite leaders. I ran this guy for so long. This is probably like one of the first decks I played when I started this game. Like, favorite villain in the anime, favorite deck in the card game. So we're gonna go ahead and get right into it. So if you guys enjoy the video, please leave a like and subscribe and comment what you guys want to see next. Alright, so we'll go ahead and get in. So on the front, he has this card, can attack battle card. So that means we're going to be swinging at leaders and unisons. I almost always swing with at unisons because in this deck, we don't want to give our opponent hand advantage. I built this deck to pretty much hand destruction, so don't give your opponent any advantage. Swing at the unison if you can. So when this card attacks, both players choose one card from their hand and place it in their drop area. And then when his life is at 4 or less, you draw 2 cards and flip over. So he's very old. They don't do that draw 2 anymore. So the same thing on the front. Permanent card cannot attack battle cards. But on the front, he actually draws when you swing, and then both players choose one card from their hand and one card from their battle area. Remember battle area, that's very important. And place those cards in their drop area. Alright, so we'll go ahead and get into the deck. So first up, I run 2 Demonic Restraint. Oh god, that card looks beautiful. I'm telling you, it looks like a frame. You could put it in a frame and hang it up. My god. Alright, but so permanent, this card is treated as Broly Ring in all areas. So Broly Ring means that this card, cards in your hand can't be discarded by your green Broly Leader's card skills. That's what the OG one did. They put it on Demonic Restraint. But the new stuff that makes this is literally the only card that that was support in this new set, and it is just made this deck busted. So it says, if your leader card is mono green Broly card, which it is, when this card is discarded or placed in a drop area from your battle area by one of your leader card, very key, leader card, or battle card, also very key, remember this, we're going to be abusing this Demonic Restraint. Activate this card from the drop area, then add up to 1 card from your life to your hand. So we don't have to add 1, but we can if we're trying to awaken early. So, and then he has the activate main once per turn for 3 energy. You could summon out a 6-drop Broly from your hand and play it. So, very good. We run 2. I ran 3, and honestly, I never needed it. You only need to get it out once. The only time you'd ever really want to run this at 3 is if you're worried that it's going to be like both of these in your life. I've played this deck probably like 25 times now because I love it, and I've never hit that. So, you know, but if you're nervous about it, go ahead and run 3. We're only 50 cards in this deck. 51's not going to kill anyone. Alright, first up, we're running the best unison, period. Demigra, unison of sorcery. So first draft, I've played a lot of this deck, so I've drafted some stuff. Bio Broly, not anywhere as good as the original gangster. We're gonna have OG Broly, so we're gonna have the OG Unison Demigra. You play this guy, if they want to swing at him, that's great. Just go ahead and take a life. And then he's just a generic plus 10, so he's a 15k, but that -3 people do not sleep on it, man. -3 KO anything with barrier 3 or less, and then any other card that doesn't have barrier. So this is a mandatory 4 of. It's amazing. And then we run for our second unison, Vegeta Resolute Agent of Destruction. So like I said, we don't want to give them hand advantage, so this guy is a double strike crit. He's going to end games. You choose 1 card in your hand and discard it. This deck probably draws more cards than any deck you've ever seen. I promise you. You're going to have the fattest hand. This deck does not care about discarding 1 card. You're gonna have 20 cards. So this card, literally, you're gonna probably have to control your drawing to not deck out, just because you'll draw so much. But anyways, this is a double strike crit, 25 every turn, and then -5. You just go ahead and rip 3 cards from your opponent's hand. So it's a 2 of. Then what green deck does not run dormant potential? I'm surprised this card, I would be surprised if this card doesn't get banned. It's literally like yellow is supposed to have this. Why does green? But you know, since it does, we're gonna run it. It's basically you negate the attack. Well, you don't actually negate the attack, but on their swing, you blow up something 2 or less. You pitch a card from your hand, and then they can only attack one more time for the turn, but they still get the attack that they're swinging with. But we all know that. Then, of course, the other guy we're running for Frieza Charismatic Villains. You guys should know what this guy does. Counterplay, blow up anything 7 or less. Very generic, very good. Mandatory 4 of. And now the heart of the deck right here. This deck will not function without it. This is your kryptonite. You need to open up with this. It is so important. So blah, 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 the permanent, blah, 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 the activate main. We don't use this because we run black in the deck. I don't think it's worth it to pay 4 energy just to get a 6 drop from your deck when the field spell does it for 3. So, and the permanent says you can't play this card if you have black cards invisible, and we do, so we can't activate main. But we use the auto. When this card is placed in your drop area from your hand by a skill and your leader card is a Broly card, choose up to 1 Broly's ring from your deck, activate it, then shuffle your deck. If you do, choose 1 or 2 cards in your life and add them to your hand. So me personally, I always add 2. You grab this from the deck. Hopefully you don't whiff. Like I said, if you're really nervous, go up to 3. I've never whiffed on 2 though, so I guess it depends on how your luck is. But I have not opened up hand with this on turn 1, and God, does that just feel terrible. So, but the whole idea is turn 1, you swing, you discard this, you play out your demonic restraint, and then you go ahead and take 2 life. You can choose 1 or 2 cards in your life and add them to your hand. And also, if you have to pitch this card later, you don't actually have to take a life because it says whenever you add a Broly card and play it. So don't play a Broly's ring. You don't have to take a life when you pitch it. So 4 of, because like I said, this is your heart of your deck. Pitch everything from your hand on your mulligan if you do not see this. It's so mandatory. It is so mandatory to see that we run Broly Dawn of the Rampage, another set 1 common, just because we need to see that card. So you top 7 and you go ahead and add yourself 1 of this. If you do not hit this in the top 7, I do not know what to tell you. You're just not meant to win. So, like I said, luck's not really a big part of this deck because I made the ratios so good that you guys are just going to win. Every time you play this, just be so happy that the ratios are beyond perfect and you'll never whiff. Anyways, next up, Paragus the Sacrifice. So, remember what I was saying earlier. This card is a set 6, but it is still becoming so busted just because of 1 field spell. So it says choose 1, because I looked at like deck lists and I was like, why are people running Paragus? What do you want to blow up on your field, right? It says choose 1 green card from your battle area other than this card and place it in your drop area. Your field spell is in your battle area, so you can go ahead and KO your field spell. Now your field spell says whenever this card is KO'd by a battle card, you get to play it again from your drop area for free. And then you can even add up to 1 card from your life to your hand if you want. So literally, turn 1, you go ahead, say if they swung at you, whatever, right? Now you're going to go swing at them, because if you go turn 1, you can't swing. So turn 2, you go ahead, swing, you get this on the field, you take your 2 life, right? They hopefully swung at you 1 time. Now you take the 2. So you'll be down to 5 life. You play this guy for 1, right? And then you go ahead and activate main, draw a card from the top of your deck, and then through this card, take a life. Now boom, you're awakened. It's just so easy. And every turn that this card sits on your field, you're just drawing and drawing. I'm telling you, I've had literally all 4 on the field, and it's just the most broken thing. Like, you're gonna have a draw 4 for literally nothing. I'm telling you guys, you're going to draw so much in this deck that you're going to actually have to control your drawing at one point to not deck out. So again, next up we're gonna have this super combos. We got Defending Father Paragus. You go ahead and draw two, then you choose one card in your hand and send it to your warp. Generic but busted. Still the best super combo in the game. Next up, go ahead and peep. We got the SPRs. Yes, sir. We're SPR'd out. I even got the fourth one, but I took one out just because I felt like I was seeing this too much. The only problem with this deck is you see a very lot of 10Ks. So, like I said, I fixed up the ratios though, so you'll love it. And then with the field spell, you go ahead and just play this guy for 3 energy. Activate main. And then he has an effect. When you play this card, you choose 2 cards from your opponent's hand at random and place them in their drop area. And you choose the 2 cards at random from your opponent's hand. So don't let them discard it. It's way better. Maybe you get lucky, pull something really good. Next up, like I said, we're running, our build is to try and hand destruction them. So of course we run Fuse Zamasu. He's getting cheaper, so this deck's definitely kind of budget friendly. For 1 energy, you go ahead, pop your Frieza Charismatic Villain. Boom. Now you got indestructible 20k. Every time it swings, you go ahead and rip a card from their hand. They get to pick it, sadly. But it's alright. We're going to rip all the cards from their hand. They're not going to have a choice, so it's like you're pretty much picking it. Next up, 3 Brienne, 2 energy. They discard 2. It's just beautiful. We run 3. And like I said, we're going to go ahead and run black in this deck. So I ran Son Goku Power of Legend. Your opponent's going to hate this card. I promise you. It's literally a critical that they just have to eat every turn. Because remember, we're already ripping their hand. They can't afford to combo out of this. If they do, great for them. Drop an extra card. And then he has an activate main that you can choose one of your opponent's battle cards, an energy cost of 4 or less, and send it to its owner's warp. So we're blowing up cards with the leader effect. We're blowing up cards with this, like their hands getting destroyed. Like there's really not much you can do against this deck. I'm telling you, I've played so many games with this deck and I have not lost yet. It is just so good. And then we run Overwhelm. It's like if we weren't drawing enough, right? But why not draw a little bit more? And it's just a free 20k, helps end those games, you know? Helps get rid of those extra 10Ks in your hand you really don't want. This card, so busted. It has Deflect and Double Strike. And it says when your life is at 3 or less, reduce the energy cost of this card in your hand by 3. So you're literally paying 2. And like I said, it's just so guaranteed because when you have a Paragus on your field, you just go ahead, take a life, go down to 3, and then boom, play this guy out. So we run 2. Remember, he ignoring barrier KOs anything, or you can choose up to one of your opponent's unisons and remove a marker from it. It is just, this is the tech, people. I'm telling you, do not sleep on it. Next up, we got Shocking Death Ball. It's the old good, but it's still the good, you know what I'm saying? Negate, blow up a 2 or less. Then we run a 1 of Master Roshi just because we want to make sure we dormant them every turn. We're not giving no one a chance. This is going to be a slaughter, people. I'm telling you. And last up, if you can't finish them, we'll finish them with the sail. I'm telling you, I've never ever not played this card in one. Like most games, you don't even need this card, but I'm telling you, if there's ever a chance that you might not win, Cell will pull it out every game. Every game, you choose 3 cards in their hand, discard it. Then he's a quad dual attack, and this guy has deflect, so it's not like they can even bounce it. Like insane, insane. So surprised it's not been banned. I'll show you the sideboard. It's not really too necessary, but Bardock, you overrun him, KO anything 6 or more. Dark Broly, unexpected turn. If they have 3 or more battle cards on the field, the battle card they're playing for 1 energy doesn't get played. It gets sent to their drop for 1 energy. Dark Broly. Max power Kamehameha, you negate the attack and you can send 4 cards from your drop to your warp and then you get it back to your hand, and then for an activate main, you warp one of their cards that's more than their energy. Dark Broly. A lot of Dark Broly stuff. I don't like Dark Broly. I love Dark Broly, but I hate versing it. Dodoria, this is for like Topo. I just don't like getting Topo'd, and pretty much if people think they're safe with Topo and you hit them with Dodoria, basically they're Topo, they pitch a card and it doesn't even get played and you can still swing and you don't have to pitch cards. So just gotta love a Dodoria. Run an extra Shocking Death Ball. You never know when you're gonna need an extra negate. It's the good stuff because it's the old stuff. Dark Power Black Mass Sand. This is for Red Broly or pretty much any deck that free plays 1500 power or less. You just want to always make them rip 2 cards if you can. Quetzalcoatl. I don't like getting counterplayed. This card will make sure that they don't. The stupidest card ever printed. I don't know why, but yep. If someone's dumb enough to play blue right now, we're gonna abuse it. So if they counterplay anything and untap an energy, you go ahead and crit a life off of them, and you take one of their energy and put it in the drop. This card should have never been printed. But I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Please leave a like and subscribe. I'm telling you, try this deck. You will not be disappointed. I've never in my life in this game seen one card make a set 1 deck so relevant again in my life. This is just so busted. And by the way, in case I forgot to tell you, you both have to choose 1 card from your battle area and place it in the drop, right? You go ahead and pick the field spell. So you don't have to pitch because of this card, and you don't have to blow up a card on your field because of this card. Just so busted. So again, hope you guys enjoyed. I'll see you on the next time. Peace.
I'm just gonna work, that is my motive. I'm not gonna stop, this is my moment. I'm not gonna quit, that is a weakness. I'm just gonna execute, that is my purpose. I speak with attitude, hard cause the feeling I